Well, hello everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Sunday. It's actually a little after noontime on Sunday. And I did want to give you an update on what is happening, not only now, but what's going on with that potential big atmospheric river kind of storm that we were looking at last week. And now, if you were with me on Friday morning, I showed you the most recent model run that I showed you of the GFS suddenly took that atmospheric river away. I'll show you the latest thinking on that, and, well, I'll give you a spoiler right now. Yeah, the models haven't changed. Yeah. But we are going to see some active weather here over the next couple of days. So let's start with what is happening right now. And again, I'm recording this a little afternoon time on Sunday afternoon, the 30th day of March, 2025. And as you can see, we have these little bands of rain going by. It's not raining a lot, but on the west slope, as usual, we're squeezing out a little bit more. Down on the valley floor, we have these occasional light showers going by, but this isn't all that wet. And yeah, we'll continue to see periods of rain today, tonight, tomorrow, and Tuesday. It's not going to rain all the time, but over the next 3 days, we are going to see on again, off again rain. The other thing is that it's also kind of windy. So these are the current wind gusts. So currently at McClellan, they've had a gust of 45. Out at SMF, they've had a gust of 30. At SAC Executive, 35. At Mather, up to 47. The Placerville Airport, gusting to 35. Now, it's what's always interesting about a day like today with this south and southeast wind, Stockton right now getting a gust of 37, Modesto 24, is that while this network of sites appears to be pretty dense, you know, right now at Pilot Hill, for instance, we have a gust of 30. I would, especially right in here, this area between Highway 49 and the valley floor, some areas are more exposed to the south wind and some areas a little bit less. So for those of you that may be on an exposed ridgetop, you may be seeing gusts that are over 40 right now, whereas at the airport at Placerville, it's saying a gust of 35. Either way, it is a rather gusty afternoon, not all that wet, but it is kind of a stormy day. In the high Sierra, we're also seeing wind gusts into the 30s, so a rather breezy day. And let's take a look at the satellite, and you'll be able to see what's going on here. We have this nice low wrapping up out in here. We have moisture streaming out down below it. Look at this line of cloud cover here. Now, that is a bit of an AR sort of a feature, a long fetch of moisture. But here in central and northern California, we've got a fair amount of moisture. And then look at this. That's a long area of cold air in here. And that's what you can read on this satellite. So in here, there are other little boundaries that don't show up as well as this one. But since this area is clear, there's a little bit of subsidence, but it's also warmer air. Behind it, there's colder air. So we have this probably little vortices in here that are likely going to come by and keep the party going as we go through the next couple of days. So let's start short term with the HRRR. And what the HRRR is going to show us as we go through the rest of Sunday in and through Sunday evening. Notice the snow levels are pretty high, temperatures are pretty warm. Let me go to 6 o'clock this evening. So at 6 p.m., about the same thing we're seeing right now. It's not quite as breezy. The winds will gradually die down. But what we will see here is on the west slope, there'll be periods of rain. But traveling through the Sierra the rest of this afternoon and this evening, it doesn't look as though we'll be seeing any snow on the summit until we get into the late night hours. And then here comes another one of those little lines that comes through. So air is gradually going to get colder. This is Monday morning. I'll go ahead another couple of hours to 7 a.m. A little bit wetter than what we're seeing right now. But as you can see for the valley, well, we're just not seeing that much rain. But we're seeing occasional showers. We are seeing colder air, so the snow level will likely be dropping by this time down to about 5,500 feet. So traveling up over I-80, Highway 50, Highway 88, by Monday morning, we will be into chain controls. Not quite as breezy again during the day tomorrow, the gradient easing quite a bit. But still, we'll have south and southeast winds. And this is as far out as the 18Z run goes. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Rain in the valley, snow in the Sierra. I'm going to back up to the 12Z run of the HRRR because I want to go all the way into the evening hours of Monday. Because, of course, we have the A's game coming up. And this is 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock here. Mainly dry in the valley. I'll tell you, it's going to be cool. It'll be snowing in the Sierra. Actually, Monday looks relatively snowy in the mountains. But for the valley, periods of rain mostly in the afternoon, diminishing in the evening, which means that I think they should be able to get the game in. But if you're going to the game, though, just, bundle up. This is late on Monday night, around midnight. More rain showers going through. I wouldn't rule out a shower during the game, but I don't think they're going to see enough rain either before or during the game to get a rain out. All right, let's go a little bit farther out into time using the NAM for that. And we'll pick it up with this precipitation we're seeing today. This is what we're seeing on Monday. Same story. Good snow in the mountains. There will be chain controls throughout the day on Monday, with a snow level probably dropping down to 5,000 feet, maybe even 4,500 feet, especially north of Interstate 80. So as we head through the evening hours, that rain diminishes. But with a low up here, we're going to see that precipitation continue into the day on Tuesday with more snow in the mountains. I'll show you the snow totals here in a little bit, but Tuesday looks like a breezy day. Once again, the gradient kicking up as that low passes to our north. This is Tuesday at 1 p.m. More showers. Maybe with the cold air around and the low, we might get some instability on Tuesday, and then more snow in the mountains. Then as we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, everything dries up. This is Wednesday afternoon. We are cool, but we are dry. In terms of rain, let's go to total precip accumulation for that. From the NAM for the valley, about a half an inch, but as you can see with the orographic flow along Highway 49, maybe 2.5 to 3 inches of rain. Above Highway 49, maybe 4 to 5 inches of water. And let's take a look at the total snow accumulation. This looks good. This may be a little bit overdone, but maybe not much. But it is, as I scroll over this, showing many areas with 4 or 5 feet. I think 3 to 4 between Monday and Tuesday seems about right. So, yeah, this is going to have a big impact on Sierra travel. If we get 3 to 4 feet of snow over a couple of days, yeah, big problems with Sierra travel Monday, Tuesday, maybe even into Wednesday morning. But as we go through the rest of today, it's still too warm to get that snow. Okay, so what happened to the atmospheric river that we were looking at? Let's take a look at that. Now, I showed you that plume of moisture that's heading down south on the satellite. I showed you that, and there it is right there. I have to scoot this over a little bit so I can get to the time frame. There we go. I can get to the time slider here. Okay, I'll go through a little bit more in time. This is Tuesday afternoon. Now, this is important to notice the wind arrows here. You notice they're dropping down from the north, and this is the difference. We now are going to have a low developing here in the west, and with the low developing here in the west, we have this north flow, and just watch what happens to this big plume of moisture coming off the Pacific. It's almost as if it runs into a wall. This is Wednesday night. So instead of having that AR pointed straight at California, instead we have cold north flow. And as you can see, especially in these time frames here, you can see how this plume of moisture just can't make progress toward California. It's close, but it's just the air mass and the overall pattern just aren't ramping up to give us anything in the way of good precipitation. So that's why we have the difference. And that's why last week we were using the word potential for heavy rain, not it's going to rain a lot, it's not going to snow a lot, that sort of thing. Instead, we use the word potential. And, that's why sometimes I call the extended range fantasy land. It's kind of, we'll see. But now as this thing is closer, and we have seen model agreement on this for the last few days, ever since we had that 6Z run, first thing on Friday morning, actually Thursday night, Friday morning, Ever since that run, every run of the GFS has been consistently dry, and it was about 6 or 8 runs before that had been consistently wet. But as you get closer into time, you get better initialization as well as better model agreement. And so that's why the potential AR that we're looking at for Wednesday and Thursday is kind of no more. But we will see some pretty interesting weather here over the next couple of days, Monday and Tuesday. And, today, breezy and cool, but cooler air coming in will provide some really good snow for the Sierra the next couple of days that will have an impact on Sierra travel. For those of you that have to chain up, truckers that need to go up over the mountain over the next couple of days, yeah, it's going to be a mess. But by Wednesday, we should see things clear up. And but for the valley, the rain isn't going to be heavy. It's just going to be occasional. And we'll have to keep an eye out for the possibility, maybe some thunderstorms on Tuesday afternoon especially. So some details to iron out here over the next couple of days. But I did want to give you the Sunday update on what to expect for the week and what happened with that AR. It's kind of a cliffhanger on Friday about, what's the next model going to do? Well, all of the models since then have all been dry with that potential AR. Yeah, it would have been fun, but it's not going to happen. That's everything I've got for you on this Sunday. I'll be back, of course, tomorrow morning with another update to show you what's going to happen. Make it a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll talk with you later.